Have you ever watched an anime and realized a character's struggle suddenly has you questioning what winning really means for you? See, we often get swept into chasing surface level success, whether that be money, fame, being number one, and then we feel lost when it's not enough. So in this video, I'm going to show you how Igarashi's story in Blue Lock redefines real satisfaction with 3 surprising insights to help you set goals that actually matter to you. To start, let me show you how Igarashi's modest goal of escaping the monk life was actually the most game-changing act in the entire Blue Lock program. Now, I want you to picture this. You're in the most competitive soccer program in the entire world, surrounded by players obsessed with becoming the world's best striker. I mean, that's the whole point of Blue Lock, to create the ultimate egoist who's only after his own goals. But then there's Igarashi, someone whose single mission isn't fame or glory, it's dodging a future as a monk in his family's temple. See, while everyone else is chasing greatness, Igarashi's fighting for something way more personal. His own sense of freedom. Because for him, Blue Lock isn't about trophies, the fame, the titles. It's a lifeline. He has no backup plan. There's no maybe next year. Every ounce of his effort is laser focused on one thing: escape. But it all seemed impossible, especially after he got kicked out of Blue Lock. I mean, imagine thinking your shot at freedom is gone for good. But then comes a twist. A 3 million yen pro contract lands right in his lap. Now, he's not suddenly the best on the field, but he's the one who actually wins in his own game. That's because Igarashi didn't meet Blue Lock's definition of success, he met his own. He got his ticket out of his current circumstances. And that's the real power here. Defining success on your own terms. So, how do you figure out what success looks like for you? Well, first, you need to identify your own monastery. What's the situation or expectation you feel trapped by right now? I want you to write it down, but try not to overthink it. Second, get real about the stakes. Igarashi's clarity came from knowing exactly what he was escaping from and why it mattered so much to him. In your case, ask yourself, why does breaking free matter so much to you? And what's on the line if nothing were to change? Third, I want you to define your own 3 million yen offer. Basically, it's your version of a life-changing opportunity. What achievement would make you feel like you've won in life no matter what anyone else thinks? This is going to be your personal victory condition, the thing that you put all of your effort towards. But here's the thing. Even if you hit your personal goal, there's another layer that decides whether you actually feel fulfilled or not. So let me show you why finding meaning in your own victories, even if they seem small to others, is what actually leads to lasting contentment. Now, in the recent chapters, there's this fascinating contrast in Blue Lock that actually flipped my entire understanding of satisfaction. Because on one side, you've got everyone's favorite lazy genius, Nagi, who was a prodigy with this jaw-dropping talent, world-class skills, and all the external validation that you could honestly dream of. But after getting kicked out of Blue Lock, he just feels empty, lost, like none of it really matters. I mean, he's got everything on paper, but on the inside, there's this void. Now compare that to Igarashi. He struggled, got ranked low, and faced non-stop criticism. But at the end of it all, he says he felt frustrated yet satisfied. How is that? Well, that's because he hit his target. Escaping the monk life trumped everything else for him. All the rankings, the expectation, and other people's opinions didn't even matter. He had a tunnel vision about the goal that he was trying to achieve. He said, hey, if I get an offer, then I win. If I don't, then it's back to the temple. That focus gave Igarashi a sense of purpose that Nagi, for all of his talent, couldn't find. And this was really made clear during their conversation where Igarashi tells Nagi, is like, hey, I'm satisfied with my victory. And Nagi, who's the prodigy in this scenario, admits he feels empty and lost. And to me, that scene makes it pretty crystal clear. Personal fulfillment beats external success every single time. So how do you actually build that kind of personal satisfaction in your own life? First, I want you to get clear on your own victory conditions. What counts as a win for you? Write down all the things that success means to you personally. not what looks good online or even to your friends and family. Next, I want you to start celebrating your personal wins, even if they seem tiny or odd to other people. For example, did you finally tackle that tough conversation at work? Or maybe you stuck to a promise that you made to yourself. Even if no one else notices, those wins matter more than you think. And if you ever feel empty after achieving something that should feel good, ask yourself, was this really my goal? Or was I chasing someone else's idea of success? Just being aware of that difference will start shifting you towards real, lasting satisfaction. But here's the thing, even when you know what you want and feel satisfied with your progress, there's still this massive challenge: staying true to yourself when the world keeps telling you to try to be someone else. Now, honestly, here's where Igarashi's story gets really powerful. He develops this technique called militia, basically his own sneaky, foul drawing move. And yeah, everyone saw it as lame, cowardly, maybe even a bit cheating, but watch what Igarashi does with that criticism. He throws his pride completely out of the window, stops caring about looking cool or heroic. His only focus becomes survival and hitting his objective. He chose effectiveness over his own image. But then there's this moment that shows you the difference between someone who knows themselves and someone who doesn't. Nagi gets a chance to return to Blue Lock, his dream, his opportunity, but he turns it down initially because he doesn't want to look lame. Igarashi, on the other hand, becomes absolutely furious. He tells Nagi, if you're going to quit your dream based on what others think, then just give it up, because it won't come true anyway. And I want you to think about that for a second. Here's Igarashi consistently fighting like a man with his life on the line, tossing aside anything except survival, no matter how shameful it may be. And on the other hand, you have Nagi, who has all of this natural talent, couldn't even pursue his dreams because he was worried about what other people might think. And the key difference, unlike Nagi, who had neither clear consequences for victory or defeat, Igarashi always knew exactly what he was fighting for and what would happen if he failed. That clarity gave him the strength to ignore everyone else's opinions. So how do you develop that same unshakable sense of self? Well, first, get brutally honest and clear on what your stakes are. Write exactly what you're fighting for and what happens if you fail. Igarashi's power came from knowing his exact consequences: living in the temple as a monk, or having the freedom to do what he truly wanted. What are your stakes that you're fighting for? Second, develop your own militia technique. Find out what exactly works for you, even if others think it's unconventional or even lame. Stop asking, will this look cool? And start asking, will this get me to where I need to go? And then finally, call yourself out when you're being like Nagi, avoiding action because you're worried about looking foolish or lame. Don't beat yourself up. Just notice it and choose differently the next time. Remember, if you're going to quit your dreams based on what other people think, then they're not going to come true anyway. See, the thing is, when you really understand these three principles, you start to realize that your unique path isn't just valid, it's actually your greatest strength. And this is what sets you apart, no matter what game you're trying to play. But here's the thing. Even though you now understand these tips, there's still one massive challenge that'll determine whether you actually step off the sidelines and take control of your own story, or you keep letting doubt and uncertainty call all your shots. You can't become the hero of your own life if you're still unclear about who you really are and what truly drives you. So watch this next video where I'll show you the simple 3-step path to move from spectator to protagonist, helping you embrace uncertainty, discover your identity through challenges, and create meaningful impact that goes way beyond just personal achievement.